So welcome everyone. I know we're still arriving, some of us, but I wanted to go ahead and welcome you to our show today. We have with us Karen Raykraut and Nicole Cloran, and together they are our storytelling and puppetry team. And so welcome to Around the World with Karen and Nicole. As we shelter at home, let us take you to distant lands without ever leaving your living room. So thank you for joining us on behalf of the Riverside Art Museum, Inlandia Institute, and the City of Riverside's First Sundays program for our special presentation of a Mexican folk tale, La Mariposa. I even wore my Mariposa dress in honor of that today. So before we begin, Inlandia Institute respectfully acknowledges and recognizes our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Cahuilla, Tongva, Luiseno, and Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, the Inlandia region is home to many indigenous peoples from all over the world, and we express our gratitude to them for allowing us the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. Now, let's give a warm welcome to our wonderful storyteller, Karen Raykraut.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Raykraut, just like Katie said. I love to tell stories and I love to play.
And now we're going to hear from Nicole Cloran of Puppets a la Carte. Hi, Nicole.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Nicole, and I am a puppeteer with Puppets a la Carte, and I love to play.
So thank you for being here and for playing with us today. We're going to hand the mic over to Karen Raykraut to get us started. So welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, everybody. You know, I wanted to tell you a little personal story before I start with our folktale today, which is that a couple of years ago, a wonderful Mexican folklorico dance company came to my town. Their name is the Pacifico Dance Company, and they did dances from many of the different states of Mexico. And as part of those dances, they did something which is called zapateado. And that's sounds they make with their feet. If you've ever seen flamenco, it's kind of those wonderful stomping sounds with the feet. And I was fascinated by that. And so I thought, before I tell you the story, maybe we could make up some of our own zapateado together for just a short warm up. So how about stand up? This is really good for your brain now. So grown-ups, please join us. All right, how's that? And Nicole is going to provide the feet, which I deeply appreciate. Okay, so how about it, Miss Katie? Let's start our music. Oh, wait, I forgot something.
Uh-oh.
So in the folklorico dancing, the girls raise up their skirts, raise the skirts up really high like this. So we could pretend, girls, that you have a skirt that you're raising up high, and the boys put their hands behind their backs, right? Okay, so boys can do this. But then girls, if you want to try behind your back, feel free. And boys, if you want to try holding up your skirt, feel free to. Okay, how about it, Miss Katie? Let's just give it a try. Ooh, I think it's starting. How about just a little bit louder, Miss Katie? That was so much fun. Okay. Oh, okay, I love that. I hope you get to see them one of these days soon. Okay, now I did that, and now I want to show you this story again, as Katie said, that I'm going to share with you today comes from the country of Mexico. And I have it up here on the map. I hope you can see the map. There's the United States of America. There's Mexico, right down there, right? And I first learned this story from 3 fourth grade girls at Magnolia Elementary School. And I found out later that they had learned this story from a book by Joe Hayes, one of my favorite storytellers, called Tell Me a Cuento, Cuéntame un Story. So if you really like this story, you can go to the library and find this book. Okay, are you ready? Here is my story. Once upon a time, there was a little butterfly. And you could show the butterfly if you want to, right? This little butterfly lived in a tiny little house. You could show the house too if you'd like to. And it was right on the corner of the street. Yes. Well, one day, La Mariposa, that little butterfly, was out sweeping in front of her house. And as she was sweeping, she looked down, and what did she see but a little silver coin, which someone had dropped in her yard. Oh, well, it's mine now. What shall I do with this silver coin? She thought about it and thought about it. She decided, I know, I'll go buy makeup so I look pretty. But when she thought about that, she said to herself, no, if I do that, people will say I'm a show-off. I know what I'll do. I'll go buy candy, lots of candy, and I'll eat it all. No. If I do that, I might get cavities. I know what I'll do. I'll go down to the village. I'll go and buy myself some beautiful cloth and make myself a new dress. And so that's just what she did. She flew down to the town. You could show it if you want to. She went to the store, and there she saw a beautiful piece of yellow cloth with black spots all over it. Oh, she loved it. She said, I'll take that. And so they rolled up that cloth for her. You could show it if you want to. She tucked it under her little wing, and she flew home. And when she got home, she unrolled it. And then she cut it. And you could show that too if you want to. And then she sewed it. Zip, 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 zip. Oh, it was a beautiful dress. She put it right on. Oh, she knew it looked so nice on her. And you probably know what it's like if you have new clothes. Don't you want everybody to see how nice you look? So she decided to go out on her front porch and just sit there until somebody came by and noticed her. So she was sitting there. She didn't have long to wait. Somebody was coming down the road. Oink, 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 oink. It was El Marrano, the pig. When El Marrano saw La Mariposa, he said, Mariposa, Mariposa, qué guapita que estás. How pretty you are. Mariposa said, I know I'm pretty. But don't you have anything else to say to me? Mariposa, ¿que te casas conmigo? Will you marry me? If I marry you, how will you sing to me? Well, as soon as he heard that, that pig started to sing. Oink, 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 oink. Oh no, I would be scared with that. Can I tell you? She hurt his feelings. He went running off, wee, 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 all the way home. And she didn't have really any time to really think about what had just happened, because as soon as she looked in the other direction, somebody else was coming down the road. Ruff, 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 ruff. El perro, the dog. When he saw La Mariposa, he said, ruff, Mariposa, Mariposa, qué guapita que estás. How pretty you are. And Mariposa said, I know I'm pretty, but don't you have anything else to say to me? Ruff, Mariposa, ¿que te casas conmigo? Will you marry me? Well, if I marry you, how will you sing to me? And then that dog started to sing. Ow, wow, 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 ow, wow, wow, wow. Oh no, I would be scared with that. She hurt his pride. Why, he turned around, he stuck his nose up in the air. You could show it if you want to. He walked off without even a single look back. Well, she didn't have much time to worry about it, because already somebody else was coming from the other direction. Meow, meow. El gato, the cat. When El gato saw La Mariposa, he said, Mariposa, Mariposa, qué guapita que estás. I know I'm pretty, but don't you have anything else to say to me? Mariposa, ¿que te casas conmigo? Well, if I marry you, how will you sing to me? The cat opened up his mouth and started to sing. And if your ears are very sensitive, I advise you to cover them right now, because this is what it sounded like. Meow, wow, 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 meow, wow, wow. Oh no! Oh, I would be very, very, very scared with that. Well, that cat, do you think he went running off down the road? Oh no. He turned his back on that Mariposa. But then he went sneaking around the side of the house until he found an open window. You could show it if you want to. And then he jumped inside the window and he curled up under the bed. Yes, you could show that if you want to. And you know, to tell you the truth, Mariposa didn't even notice, because as soon as that cat turned his back, somebody else was coming down the road. Squeak, 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 squeak. It was el ratoncito, the little mouse. You could show it if you want to. He was so tiny and cute. And you know what? When he saw La Mariposa, he could hardly speak. Mariposa, Mariposa, qué linda que estás. I know I'm pretty. But don't you have anything else to say to me? Mariposa, ¿que te casas conmigo? Well, if I marry you, how will you sing to me? Now, that little mouse knew a thing or two about singing. He knew you don't just open up your mouth and start to sing. You've got to warm up your voice first. So he warmed up his voice. Let's try it. La 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 la. Then he warmed up a little more. Me 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 me. You could try it if you want to. Me 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 my moo me me my moo. Woo woo. Well, when he was sure that his voice was ready, this is what he sang. La 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 la. Squeak, 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 squeak. Oh, when La Mariposa heard that, she said, oh, that is so beautiful. I'll marry you. So La Mariposa and El Ratoncito went right down to the church and got married. Dun, 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 dun. Hooray! Oh, they had a big party afterwards. All their friends came. They were doing lots of dancing, just like we did before. Remember? Yes. Woo. They ate a lot of food. And by the time everyone ate and danced and left, it was almost morning. And La Mariposa and El Ratoncito were so tired, they went right to sleep. But you know what? I don't know how long it was, but after a while, the little mouse got thirsty. So he got up to get a drink of water. And he didn't come back. And he didn't come back. Little mouse, where are you? But then a voice came from under the bed. Meow, he can't answer you because he's in my stomach. The cat had eaten the little mouse. Oh, La Mariposa was so sad. She cried and cried. You could show it if you want to. Ooh, ooh. Oh, her friends felt so sorry for her. They wanted to cheer her up. So they all pitched in and they got her a big bouquet of flowers. You can show it if you want to. And when she smelled those flowers, do you know, she forgot all about living in a house. She forgot about being married. And from that day to this, all La Mariposa does is fly from flower to flower. La, 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 La. And that's the story of La Mariposa. Thank you so much for listening. And now I'm going to turn it over to Nicole.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Karen. I just love listening to your stories because I'm transported into them and the characters come alive for me. And every time I've heard a story from Karen, it makes me want to play with that story. And because I am a puppeteer, I then want to play with my puppets, and I want to bring the story to life in a new way through the medium of puppets. So today, I wanted to talk specifically about the different ways that we can do a puppet show. And I'd like to invite you to use the chat feature. If you know how to do that on Zoom, you can open up chat and you can type in there some ideas you might have for what you could use in your house to put on a puppet show. So we talk about the medium for an artist being the form through which he or she expresses him or herself. So for example, with my puppets, I could take a box and I could cut a hole out and I could have my puppets look out of the window of the box. That I could use as a puppet theater. If you have any other ideas, what maybe you could use from your home, put it in the chat and I'll see if you have any ideas to share with me. People are sleepy. How about a table? We can use a table to tell our puppet stories. In fact, there are puppets that are called tabletop puppets, and the puppeteer stays in view. They don't have to hide themselves, and the puppets are animated right on top of a table. And it's on the table and not the floor because it's really important that the puppeteer can move her body freely, and that's easier to do when your legs are standing on the ground rather than when you're kneeling. So that would be another idea. Oh, someone has typed in, you could do it in a doorway. So when you have a door, you already have a frame, and then you could hang up a sheet there and you could cut a little opening, and then you could have a puppet show right there in your doorway. Those are great ideas. One other one I'll throw out to you. Remember, puppets are comes in all different forms. So you could do a shadow puppet show on a wall. So then all you need is a nice plain wall and a light. And then you put your object in front of the light and you project the shadow onto the wall. So those are all some ideas. The one that I want to tell you about today is Zoom. We can do a puppet show right here on Zoom, on the computer. And so many of us are using Zoom now, and it's really fun to play with it because we can't always do a show for our neighbors or our friends or our relatives because either they live far away and they can't come, or they're trying to be very safe and not get sick, so we're all staying in our own homes. So you can share your puppet show using the computer, and I'm going to talk about that today. And what I wanted to do right away was let you join me in a small exercise. So if you want, I'm going to just move my chair so you don't see me. I'm still here. And I'm going to bring my finger, use 2 fingers, and bring them up from the bottom of your screen. Here we go. 2 fingers coming up from the bottom of your screen. And now 2 fingers are coming down from the top of the screen. They come together and they dance, and then they become a butterfly and they fly away. So start to think about how important it is to keep yourself out of the screen. I didn't do a great job that time. So you could see in the beginning, I was out of the screen and it was more interesting. And then I popped in and it got distracting. So you can practice with what you see. This is your stage. What do people see? And where are the puppets coming from? So you can think about all that when you watch the show that I and my daughter are going to put on for you in just a moment. First, let's meet our actors. So you remember the story of Mariposa. Mariposa is the Spanish word for butterfly. She is our main character. And this is a marionette, a puppet that hangs from a string, or in this case, a wire, and is performed from above. This one will be performed by my daughter, Juliana. Juliana, would you like to say hello? Hello. You may hold the puppet. Then we have the marrano, or the pig. The pig is a mouth puppet. Now, a mouth puppet is performed when you open and close the mouth doing this with your hand. We also have a glove puppet. This is a glove puppet because I use more than one finger inside it, like a glove. You can do it like this, or you can do it like this. There are different ways you can do it. So think of this as the glove puppet. Then we also have, oh, this one's really clever because it's sort of a finger puppet, and it's sort of a hand puppet, and it's sort of a glove puppet. This puppet is performed with one piece on each finger of my hand. And then don't forget ratoncito, cute little ratoncito. Come a little higher. There you go, ratoncito. The raton, or the mouse, is a finger puppet, just like that. And that's the cast of our show. So I'm going to move my computer now so you can see the stage that we're going to be using. And first, Juliana and I will perform for you, and you can just enjoy the movement of the puppets. And then I will pull the computer back some, and I will explain how we did our staging. Now, while you're listening to the story, we're actually only going to use music, but when you see the characters, when you see the butterfly, you can perform the butterfly with your hands, and you can either interlock your thumbs, or I really like to interlock my pinkies, because I can use my arms too. So you can do that. Any way you want to show the butterfly with your hand, you can do that. For the pig, el marron, we're going to do this because it's a mouth puppet. For the dog, the glove puppet, we'll do this. For the cat, you can use your whole hand. And for the mouse, you can use your finger. All right, I'm going to head over with my computer and set up our stage. Yes, thank you, Juliana, for grabbing the puppets. Here we go. We have them all. Okay, just set this up for a moment. And almost ready. Okay, let's see. Are all my puppet actors on that side of the stage ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I don't hear any music. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Juliana, for helping me out with that. So now I hope you enjoyed seeing those puppets. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I put that show together. So I'm going to pull my computer back. Already you can see all this mess on my desk where I work, right? That's not nice for a show. So when you do this, you think carefully about what your setting, what your background is, and then you turn your computer and you bring it really close so all you can see is your set. Now, what did I use as a set? I have 3 different set pieces. I began with a box. Can you see that up there? There's a box behind here, just a cardboard box. Then I took a piece of white poster board and just taped it on there. And then I decided, since every puppeteer and artist is allowed to make the story a little bit their own, that my Mariposa, my butterfly, was going to be an art lover. And so in her house, she has displayed this Matisse-inspired artwork. But if you did this show and told this story, you might decide something else is hanging here. Or you may draw some windows and you can maybe see the clouds or the trees outside through the windows. Or you may even put her outside, whatever you want, that's up to you. And you might have noticed there were a few things in my storytelling with the puppets that was a little bit different from Karen's. For example, when my mouse did not go and get a drink of water, my mouse was just unexpectedly pounced upon in its sleep. And that's okay. Also, when my characters come home, I close the shades, so it's nighttime and they're asleep. And then later I can add my 3rd layer. And I decided to make a garden of flowers instead of having a vase full of flowers. And you can see up here, I used some of these alligator clips. They're so useful to hang up my pillowcases. And they also work to hold the yarn that is holding up this set piece. So with some very simple materials that I have at my house, I was able to stage this puppet show. Now, another thing to think about is how the puppets were on stage. So I had to think about how close I wanted them. I really didn't want you to see my arm, so as much as possible, I kept my arm and my head out of the picture, because a puppeteer's job is to make her puppet seem alive. And everything you can do to enhance that livelihood, that aliveness, helps sell the show, helps the audience really believe in the magic that you're sharing with them. So if I'm in the picture, it's less believable that the puppet is alive. But if all you see is the puppet in the picture, come back, oh, I'm back, dog, then you're more likely to want to believe that the puppet is alive. And then, of course, you saw me playing with where the puppets showed up. Like the cat came down from up here once and looked really close. And that adds to the storytelling, because in the story, the cat was very sneaky. The cat did not go away like the dog and the pig did. The cat jumped into the house and hid under the bed. And I couldn't show you that with the props I had. So I decided to give you the feeling of that part of the story by showing you how the cat was sneaking around, and it would pop up here, it would pop up there. And then lastly, I just wanted to show you that I added a box over here, because I really wanted you to get the sense of a bedroom set. And I wanted to have that mouse lying somewhere where the cat could grab it. And the cat puppet was just, I chose that particular kind of puppet because it worked so well because it was on my hand. So when I went to grab the puppet, I didn't have to use my other hand to pretend the cat was getting it. I could just use my cat puppet hand to grab the mouse and run off with it. So those are some of the elements that went into bringing this puppet show to life for you. And of course, music played a large role in it. I chose not to retell it because you just heard Karen tell it with words. And I really wanted you to focus on images. What do you see on the screen? And I hope maybe that you will remember some of these ideas, and you will practice a little bit in Zoom. You can turn Zoom on and lock it so no one can join you, and just practice in front of it and do a show. And then when you're ready, you can set up a Zoom call with your family or friends, and you can put on a show for them. So thank you for being a part of this mini puppet show and the storytelling with Karen. Have fun playing.
Well, thank you both so much for teaching us some new ways to play today with stories and with puppets. We hope everybody in our audience enjoyed the show and learning about how you do a puppet show on Zoom and letting us get behind the scenes a little bit. So we will be here again on the first Sunday of November for the Riverside Art Museum's First Sundays. And we will be sharing a story called Crocodile and Hen, a folk story from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And then join us again on December 10th, which is the first day of Hanukkah, for King Solomon and the Hoopoo Bird. And that is part of the Mission Inn Foundation's Toward Peace project. So we wish you all a wonderful weekend, and thank you for sharing your afternoon with us. See you again next time. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Come and see us again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.